Hi, I'm Fiona. I decided to do my presentation on irritable bowel syndrome for my human biology class with Mark Morency, and this is it. What is irritable bowel syndrome? Irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, is a common disorder that affects the large intestine. Here, I have a drawn picture of what all that's going to look like. This is the esophagus, and this is the stomach. This is the small intestine, and this is the large intestine, and this is the rectum. I'll give you guys a close-up on that. Symptoms of IBS. Abdominal pain or cramps, bloating, bowel movement that is harder or looser than normal, diarrhea, constipation, or switching between the two, excessive gas, and mucus in your poop. Ways to manage IBS. Eat healthier foods. Find out what foods trigger your IBS. Exercise. Try probiotics and fiber, and self-care. So some foods that are very high in fiber are beans, broccoli, berries, avocados, popcorn, whole grains, and apples. The best way to help with your IBS may involve changing your diet, medicine, supplements, stress relief, and obviously talking to your doctor if you think you have IBS. Is IBS genetic? Yes, IBS actually is genetic. Relatives of someone with IBS are 2 to 3 times as likely to have IBS. Is there a cure for IBS? There is no cure. Symptoms can only be treated or managed. Types of IBS. IBS-C is IBS with constipation, and that means that most of your poop is hard. IBS-D is IBS with diarrhea, so that would obviously be loose or watery poop. IBS-M is IBS that's mixed with bowel habits, so like hard poop and watery poop within the same day. IBS-U would just be like symptoms varying. I actually chose this because I have IBS, which I'm not sure if I should even share with the class or the internet, but I'm going to do both. And I was a sophomore in high school when I found out that I had it, and I hadn't pooped for 3 weeks. And I told my mom, and I was like, something is wrong because I have not pooped at all in 3 weeks. So they took me in, they gave me an ultrasound, and I didn't know why they did then. Now, obviously, I know what the machine is used for. And the nurse was like, oh my gosh. And she said it like 3 times. And I, in that moment, was convinced I had stomach cancer. And then she called the doctor in, and the doctor said that I was extremely constipated, like really badly constipated. So they had to give me laxatives and told me to eat high fiber foods. And I still didn't poop 2 days after that. So then my mom brought me back in, and then they were talking about surgery, and they're like, well, before we give you surgery, we're going to give you what they give pregnant women before they go into labor so that it can help them poop so they don't poop everywhere when they go into labor. And I honestly think I would have rather suffered with the IBS than to ever drink that disgusting drink ever again. But it did help me immensely. And I still do suffer with IBS, and it sucks. But, you know, I eat fibrous foods to kind of get my bowels moving and help with that. And my grandpa also has IBS. So it is genetic, which is another thing I also learned doing this presentation. And thank you for watching my presentation on irritable bowel syndrome and oversharing